The International Post Corporation is a cooperative company that is now some 27 years old, and it's owned by 24 members who are post and logistics companies from around the world, scattered, as you can see, from Iceland to New Zealand. We provide them with services, amongst which is a great deal of IT service. We have a server here, server room. We have about 70 permanent staff, 50 contractors, mostly who do IT. All of that means, because we serve the world, that we have some very specific requirements about where we are accommodated, the quality it must be, and the flexibility that it must have. We have been in the current offices, or had been, since 2004, and our lease was approaching its end. We don't have a property department here. We wouldn't in a company this size. And in Brussels it is a fairly constricted market for the sort of requirements we had. So we looked around for somebody to advise us. Usually you could find only agents who both bought and sold, and what we wanted was somebody who effectively just bought. And that is how we started our partnership. Having interviewed several, it seemed to us that an interest only on our side is something the business space could bring, and the technical expertise to understand our requirement and to source alternatives, as well as to be able to speak to our existing landlord in a language that perhaps they understood in property terms better than I could express. The result of the engagement from our perspective was that we were presented with the right alternative properties, most of which would have been quite suitable to move into. I mean, we looked at them, and some of them we said, no, this is not for us, but we had 3 alternatives plus where we already are, all at competitive rents, which of course meant that in the negotiation with our existing landlord, we had a very clear benchmark which we could demonstrate met the requirements that we had, and that was absolutely crucial. It was then really the business space expertise that took the negotiation to a very successful conclusion with a very substantial rent reduction, more, I think, than certainly I could have achieved on my own. And that, from our perspective, was an excellent outcome. To add to that, business space also reviewed the various charges that we have here, and indeed the potential charges in the alternative properties, and we were able to negotiate some of those, and certainly in the new lease to be much clearer about how they were calculated, when they should be reviewed, the costs that went into them, and so on. So the outcome was extremely pleasing. We are still in the premises that we were in, so we didn't have to pay for a move, but that was not necessarily what we started out with. We wanted the best value deal, and business space basically helped secure that for us.